Doing today is we're going to be changing. This is a 2003 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and it has a cold air induction system on it, as you can see over there, right here, with this tube here. This is a shield, I believe. Turn this thing around. I believe this is a shield to keep the water out of this when you're going through water. What we're going to do is we're going to take all of this off. Now I've already disconnected it. It's sitting there like it was. There's a bolt down here, straight down here, with a kind of a rubber cushion on it. So we're going to take this off. This is what you have to clean. See if I can get this thing out here a little better. This is what you have to clean. And it's all right. You get more horsepower out of this, supposedly at higher RPM. But it does not clean the air as well as the OEM system. So we're going to take that off. Take this off here. Now, this hose was originally on here at this area right here, so we're going to have to cut this hose off or put another hose on to go on the other system. I have a lot more to do here, so we get over here and get the other induction system here. Now, hopefully I can see that, or you can see that, there it is. I'm going to take this one. Now this is a standard one, and we're going to put it here. Go down over the carburetor and induction system, throttle body fuel injection. Now this is going to go on here like that. Now what we have to do, we have to take this out of there, and it has a bolt down here, and this is the OEM system here. We'll put that on, and the bolt's going down there. I'm going to have to find some nuts to go on that, but I won't make you wait for me to find that. I'll just shut the camera on and off. This is the upper part of it, with the filter goes down in there, and it also has this system here that goes on. It goes on here like that. Like that, and it turns up. So that's going to go down here like this, but we have to get all this other stuff out of the way. Probably have to take this stabilizer bar out of the way also. So we're going to do a little bit of magic here and do all of that while you're waiting for me to turn the camera back on. Well, we got this big jewel out of there. That was a job. It went in there like that. It had a bolt in here, and then it had a bolt here that bolts onto the radiator. So we had to take the bolt out of the radiator there. Now, it looks a lot different. It's going to be a lot lighter. You can look down in there now. I got to put the bolt, this bolt, back into the radiator now. That's the 10mm bolt. The bolt down here was a 9/16. That was different. get that radiator fastened down. It'll fall out of there because this goes into some pretty rough and bumpy country. It has a winch on it. It's a full Rubicon. I've never used the winch at all. Just about got that bolt back in now. That's finished. All right. Well, let's see how this goes. Go back in. I have to find nuts that goes on these bolts here. If I can get this one started on here, maybe. This will hook onto this here. We won't do that though until we get this fastened down. It has a couple of drain holes in this if water gets in there. Got in there. Aha! That was not there yet. Kind of a shock absorber on it, but it must be different than the original one. When people change these things, sometimes they do not go to the better, it goes to the worse, and that's what happened with this air system, this air filter system. And by the way, this came off the East Coast, and these metal parts on these are, they rust. Back there's a lot of salt on the roads and a lot of snow and long winters. So I can get this thing to fit in here. Well, I see how that works. This needs some WD-40 on it, that's for sure. And I'll have to take this down here just a little bit. It's a little bit too high for the stud that's in there. Maybe I can bring the stud up a little bit. I don't know. It should be just a little bit thinner there. Well, we'll work on that, and I'll turn the camera back on. Well, believe it or not, I actually found the right nuts for that, but they're 7/16. This is on the inside, it is 8 millimeters. So now we're going to see if we can put it back down in there again. Get things to fit back together. Go back to OEM. Lose that, I'll be very lucky. Here someplace. Before. Still, there's a little bit to it. I may have to take that down a little bit more. It's a lot of rust on it. I'll be able to press it down a little bit better. And I hope I can find my nut that goes on there. I did have it. And I'll be back in a few minutes here. Well, we've got it polished off some. I think if I could find the bolt that goes on there, it would work. Yep, I think it would. Now, if I can get those others in place, I've got nuts for them. There's one, found him. There's the nuts we found. One's in there. Oh, that'll go on there. Things are looking better. See if that fits on there. Actually, it does. That one doesn't seem to want to find the right place. Now it's actually almost there. Great. Where did I lose my little measurement on this other one? Much better. And then we'll put this over there and bring it over here, and we'll hook up that little vacuum hose there, or whatever it is. And we'll turn the camera back off and on one more time. Well, we've done a lot of fitting and polishing and grinding that you didn't get to see, that might just bore you. Found the castle nut. Let's see if I can get this thing down there. Getting it, allowing you to see some of this fitting business. Goes. These clips are very, very rusty. Like I said, this came from dead Jeeps, and they are back in the East Coast. One of the nuts that I found. Get the other one in here. We put the little horn thing on there. Quite a job to put this back on OEM, but the engine will probably last longer because it'll have better filtration. 7/16 on the bottom now. And 8mm on the top. First. All right, one of them finished. This will make the engine a little quieter also. All right. Little horn there. I guess I got it in the right place. And I put a couple of extra cables on here because it has a winch on the front. Now, I have to find the air filter. And this is the air filter. It'll go down in there like that. This will go on here like this, hopefully. Hopefully it's not out of shape. OEM is missing. And the next thing to do is to see if it will fit without the filter. You can go the other way. Hopefully I got the right filter. Down in there. Hopefully it's not distorted. Well, that's better, I think. Hopefully that should be a real quick job here doing this. There's one clip. Doesn't feel like it's going on correctly. One clip is missing. I thought they were all on there. That one's on there. That one's missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. Well, I'll have to see if I can find another clip. And here, this one's the one that's hard to get on, they say. Roll around to get it. There it went. Now we just have to find the other clip. Well, after we get this hooked up here, which is now done, we'll tighten this up. And while I'm looking for the other clip that's missing, I'll see if I can get all new clips for it. Get these out of the way. And we'll tighten this one up. That's secure. Now this little thing. What we can do about that. Let's see if you're able to see what I'm doing here. I had to put a longer hose on here before. Now we got to put a shorter one on. Yeah, that'll work, I believe. I'll just do that back there. Now we're operating, cooking with gas. Long screwdriver would be easier. Now cover vent. We cut that much off of it right there. Now let's see what I can do here. Get this stuff out of the way. My hands are all dirty. There it is now. All there. Like that one broke right off. landed somewhere. Get another clip for it. Well, let's see if it will run. Won't leave it running very long because we're in the closed garage here. But there we are with a all new, brand new, used, very rusty air filter system, OEM. Let's see what it sounds like. If it'll run, after being light on all day. Well, it worked, and it is quieter. Just have to find the clip for it, and I'm going to work on that little castle nut just a little bit more also. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and come back again. We'll try to do another little mechanical thing for you. Bye-bye.